Hello everybody, I hope you all are fine and you are studying well for your exams. I welcome you all on behalf of Study for Win. Today we shall be focusing on multidimensional intelligence. The session plan is we shall be understanding construct of intelligence and multidimensional intelligence, definitions and theories of intelligence, characteristics of intelligence, measurement of intelligence with some practice questions while we go on. Construct of intelligence. First of all, let us understand the general definition of intelligence. A person's intelligence level is understood by the ability to solve the problem, the power of reasoning, thinking, the learning ability, and decision making. But intelligence is much more than this. There are various scholars who have given many types of definitions of intelligence. However, in general, we can say that intelligence is the ability to understand the world, think with rationality, and use the resources effectively to deal with the challenges of life. The construct of intelligence. There are four major factors: the adaptability to a new environment or to the changes in the current environment, the capacity for knowledge and the ability to acquire it, capacity for original and productive thought, ability to comprehend relationships, ability to evaluate and judge, ability to learn from the external environment as well as the ability to learn about the external environment and to interact effectively with it. All these four things come into three basic functions. One is learning, which covers acquiring, retaining, and using the knowledge. Second comes is recognizing the problems, that is to identify the possible problems in the environment that requires our attention and solving the problems. We have to be able to use whatever we have learned to find a useful solution to the problem whenever we notice them around us. There are various definitions and theories of intelligence, but there is no any standard specific definition which covers intelligence. However, one thought process says that intelligence is a general single ability, while some of the scholars believe that it covers a range of aptitudes, skills, and talents, etc. Out of so many theories, some major theories are unifactor theory, which was replaced by two-factor theory, the primary mental abilities theory, three-stratum theory, the most popular multi-intelligence theory, triarchaic theory, multiple factor theory, and five mental abilities theory. The unifactor theory was put up by Alfred Binet and Terman. According to this theory, intelligence is just an activeness which enables the creature to adjust itself to the changing environment. People who are holding this view believes in inborn all-round mental efficiency as a sign of intelligence. According to this theory, if one has a fund of intelligence, he can utilize these funds in any of the area. The intelligence of a person gets stamped in all whatever he thinks and acts. This is like the money that we have in our pocket. The person might be spending the money in any part of the life so that the person still remains rich. However, does it happen in real life? We have seen that mathematics professors are sometimes losing out the information. The most renowned artists who are working as mothers in movies are not actually good mothers in real life. Hence, this theory, which came out to be a very simple one, was required to be replaced. What came next was the two-factor theory put up by Charles Spearman. It was 1904. This had two factors, the G factor and the S factor. The Spearman proposed that the idea of intelligent behavior is actually generated by the quality within the human mind, termed as general factor, the G factor. He also proposed that G factor is innate and it cannot be developed. However, there is another factor of intelligence known as special factor, the S factor, which could be developed with education and experience. So what are we understanding here? In two-factor theory, there are two major factors. One is G factor, which cannot be developed, which is inborn, innate. However, there is one more factor, S factor, the special factor, which can be developed in life through education and experience. The next theory is primal mental abilities theory, given by Louis Thurston. This theory focuses on how many different abilities? 7 abilities. Verbal comprehension, inductive reasoning, perceptual speed, numerical and arithmetic ability, word fluency, associative memory, spatial visualization. This theory was put up after giving 56 tests to the 240 college students. The next theory was three-stratum theory, put up by Raymond Cattell and John Hahn in 1966. This theory is developed and known as fluid and crystallized intelligence theory. It is said that intelligence consists of two parts, fluid intelligence and crystallized intelligence. The fluid part is the biological aspect of intelligence, measured by calculating the speed of reasoning and memory capacity. It increases into the adulthood but decreases as the person grows old. The crystallized part of the intelligence is the expansion of the skill through learning and experience. The source of new knowledge and new experiences are unlimited. So this type increases throughout the life. So what are we basically understanding is three-stratum theory, 1966, two parts, fluid part, crystal part. Fluid part is biological aspect. Crystallized part is related to the skill development. The fluid part says that it increases into the adulthood but decreases as the person grows old. However, the crystal part can continuously increase because the person is not restricted from taking the new experiences, new knowledge throughout the life. The question can be, the fluid part is a skill development or a biological development? The fluid part is biological development or biological aspect. The crystal part is about skill development, understanding and taking the or subjecting ourselves to the unlimited experiences of the world. Now comes the most popular theory given by Howard Gardner, the theory of multiple intelligence. Originally put up in 1983, how many intelligence were given? Only 7. However, in the year 1990, one more was added, that was naturalistic intelligence. In the year 1999, one more was added. What was that? The existential intelligence. And this was not to be confused with spiritual intelligence, as Gardner did not commit to the term spiritual intelligence. Now let us understand the linguistic part of the Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory. The linguistic intelligence involves sensitivity to spoken and written language, the ability to learn the language, capacity to use the language to accomplish certain goals. There are writers, poets, lawyers, speakers among these who are having high level of linguistic intelligence. Musical intelligence, which involves the skills of performance, composition, appreciation of musical patterns, harmonics. Musicians and composers have this kind of intelligence. The logical and mathematical intelligence consists of capacity to analyze the problems logically, carry out mathematical operations, investigate issues scientifically. The dimensions of intelligence associated with scientific and mathematical thinking. So we find mathematicians, scientists with this kind of intelligence. Spatial intelligence. It is the potential to recognize and use the patterns of the wide spaces and more confined areas. We find artists, designers who are having high level of spatial intelligence. The bodily kinesthetic intelligence is the ability to use mental abilities to coordinate body movements. The mental and physical activities are related. Hence, we find athletes and sportsmen with this kind of intelligence. Intrapersonal intelligence. This is the capacity to understand one's own self, appreciate own feelings, own fears, own motivations. It is all about own. We find many of the philosophers with high level of intrapersonal intelligence. The interpersonal intelligence is concerned with the ability to understand the intentions, motivations and desires of other people, not own, other people. It allows people to work effectively with others, We find educators, salespeople, religious leaders, political leaders, counselors who are having high level of interpersonal skills. Naturalist. This is the ability of recognizing the plants, animals, and minerals. You might have seen there are some people around who are having special connect with the animals, unlike others. And there is one more, the existential intelligence. This in type of intelligence is with the people who are having the ability to think what is happening to the world, what is happening to the universe. So the pandemic, ongoing pandemic, was once upon a time thought over, predicted by some people. Those people were all thinking about what is going to happen to the life on the earth. Those people are having existential intelligence at high capacity. Then comes the triarchic theory put up by Robert Sternberg. This was in the year 1985. This was the special theory which went against the psychometric approach. There can be the question, which theory went against psychometric approach? It is the Robert Sternberg's triarchic theory of intelligence, and it took more of a cognitive route. It is said that intelligence is how well the individual deals with environmental changes throughout one's own lifespan, entire lifespan. This has got three parts: componential, experiential, and practical or contextual. The componential part is associated with the analytical giftedness, which is helpful in being able to take the problems apart and being able to see the solutions which are not seen by those who are less gifted. Only gifted people can see the componential part. The experiential part, this deals with how well a task is performed with regard to how familiar it is, that is whether it is a novel task that is never done before or an automated task that is a repetitive task. Then there comes a practical or contextual intelligence, which is having a third component which is given in the triarchic theory of intelligence. The practical or the contextual part deals with the mental activity involved in reaching the fitting to context through the main three processes of adaptation, shaping, and selection. The individuals create the ideal fit between themselves and the environment. This type of ability is often referred to as being street smart. So street smart is the term which is associated with triarchic theory of intelligence, and out of these three parts, componential, experiential, and practical or contextual part, the street smartness is associated with practical or contextual part of the triarchic theory. Next is the multiple factor theory. This theory covers four factors: the level of difficulty of the task, range of the different tasks of the same difficulty that a person can perform with consistency, the area of various dissimilar situations at each difficulty level to which a person can respond effectively, the speed of response of a person to carry out an activity. Next comes the five mental abilities theory given by George Kelly. George Kelly is more well known for his work on cognitive psychology, personality, and personal constructs. He suggested that the intelligence comprises of five mental abilities. First is comprehension, second is memorizing ability, spatial ability, numerical ability, and perceptual ability. This is somewhere similar to the theories of Thurston and Gardner. Now let us understand characteristics of intelligence. Firstly, intelligence varies from person to person. Intelligence is a process that develops throughout the lifetime of the person. It helps a learner to improve learning from the concrete to abstract. It enables people to differentiate between wrong and right. It enables learning from concrete to abstract or from abstract to concrete. The answer will be concrete to abstract. It also enables learning and plays a major role in individual success in life. It enables people to learn from past experiences. It is affected by heredity, environment, education, experience, and not affected by the gender. Okay. Measurements of intelligence. Various individual tests have been used to test the intelligence of individuals. The main individual intelligence tests are Stanford-Binet's intelligence test and Wechsler's intelligence. Stanford-Binet's intelligence test It was developed in the year 1905. The mental age divided by chronological age and the ratio of the same is called mental quotient. The IQ, the term IQ is equal to mental age divided by chronological age into 100. It is a cognitive ability and intelligence test used to diagnose the developmental or intellectual deficiencies in young children. Next comes the Wechsler's intelligence test. It has got two components or two subscales, the verbal scale and the performance scale. The verbal scale gives the verbal IQ and the performance scale gives the performance IQ. Both the subscales are combined to formulate the total IQ. The test scores combinations may reveal other strengths as well as weaknesses to a skilled examiner. So what we have learned in this present session is construct of intelligence, multidimensional intelligence, definitions and theories of intelligence, characteristics of intelligence, measures of intelligence, and we have seen some of the questions that might appear. I wish you all the best and thank you so much once again on behalf of Study for Win team.